Noah's Ark is nearly shipwrecked. There was a once-in-a-lifetime lunar event over the weekend, and the U.S. government releases a transcript of the 911 call made by Orlando shooter Omar Mateen. Sort of. This is SkyWatch TV for Monday, June 20th, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First, the United Nations wants you to know that today is World Refugee Day. The UN High Commissioner on Refugees encouraging us to take this day to consider the plight of refugees with the help of some well-known faces.
Every day.
Every day.
War forces thousands of innocent families
To leave their homes.
Families like yours.
Des familles comme la vôtre.
Family like mine.
Familia como la mía.
Para escapar de la violencia, dejan todo atrás.
To escape the violence,
They leave everything behind.
Everything behind.
Everything.
Everything except their hopes and dreams.
We believe all refugees
deserve the right to protection
And to live in safety.
Together,
we need to send a clear message to government.
We must act with solidarity.
And take shared responsibility.
We stand together with refugees.
we stand together with refugees.
Please stand with us.
Por favor, únete a nosotros.
Por favor, únete a nosotros.
Please stand with us.
Please sign the petition today.
À vous de signer la pétition maintenant.
Please sign the petition today.
With all due respect to the likes of Patrick Stewart, Kate Blanchett, and Ben Stiller, the petition we're being encouraged to sign won't do anything to change the way refugees are being treated. What it does do is changes the opinion of those who tend to hero worship celebrities about the globalists' agenda to eliminate national borders. And frankly, we could take it just a little more seriously, too, if the U.S. State Department wasn't so intent on creating still more refugees. Last week, 51 diplomats in the State Department signed a remarkable internal memo critical of President Obama's approach to Syria. These diplomats want direct military action by the United States against the government of Bashar al-Assad. Frankly, this is insane. Look, Bashar Assad is not a nice man, I grant that. But he lives in a part of the world where nice men don't become heads of state. In order to keep the peace over there, a head of state has to keep the lid on a pressure cooker of squabbling and fighting, factions, tribes, and sects. Personal loyalty in that part of the world is extended to the family, to the tribe, and to one's religion, not to a national government. And we've seen this demonstrated over and over again over the last 15 years. Taking out Saddam resulted in a failed state. Taking out Gaddafi resulted in a failed state. Taking down Mubarak almost resulted in a radical Islamist government, or say violent Islamist government. It took a military coup led by al-Sisi to prevent that from happening. Well, Syria is teetering on the brink of becoming a failed state. And so far, since their civil war began, over 400,000 people have died, and about 6.6 million people are displaced inside Syria's borders. This doesn't count the millions of people who fled and are now in Europe and the United States. And apparently America's diplomats want more. I will say again, this is insane. Doubly so because the government of Bashar al-Assad is now backed by the Russian military. So any military strike against Syria runs a high probability of a direct confrontation with Russia. Insane. Now, having said that, this administration's policy of Muslim immigration is likewise less than coherent. New surveys indicate that more than half the Muslims in the United States prefer to be governed according to Sharia law. And 60% told the Pew Research firm that they're more loyal to Islam than to America. To be fair, I'm more loyal to Christ, or hope I am, than to America. But the key difference here is that Christ never commanded his followers to behead infidels. The toughest talk he ever gave his disciples when sending them out was to shake the dust off your sandals in any town that won't listen and move on. Now, what do you call it? Pop quiz. What do you call it when a group of people moves into a new land, refuses to assimilate to the native culture, but insists that the native culture conform to its values and religion? If you said invasion, you would be correct. Here's another data point to consider on World Refugee Day. 6 diseases that were nearly eradicated in the United States are making a comeback. Those diseases are tuberculosis, measles, whooping cough, mumps, scarlet fever, and bubonic plague. The number of foreign-born residents, perhaps not coincidentally, inside the United States has nearly quadrupled over the last 30 years, from 11 million to 42 million. 2/3 of the active TB cases in the U.S. among foreign-born residents. Many immigrants arriving in the U.S. coming from parts of the world where measles is still common. And the CDC says that immigrants are not required to take the MMR vaccine when they arrive on these shores. The MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella, which is German measles. Now, I'm not saying that we should close our borders or that we should turn our backs on these people. That is not the Christian thing to do. What I am saying is that we don't necessarily need to import them to help them. The people are trying to win our hearts and minds through emotional videos of malnourished children. Just remember, they aren't necessarily presenting the whole story. And those who keep repeating the claim that diversity is our strength are either ignorant of history or they are just flat lying. If we learn nothing from history, we should learn that diversity plus proximity equals conflict. And not to sensationalize that point, but there is a story from Idaho that deserves to be brought up because it appears local government officials are trying to de-emphasize this. Police in Twin Falls, Idaho, which is a town of about 44,000 people west of Pocatello, investigating a reported sexual assault that allegedly occurred on June 2nd. Police and prosecutors not commenting while it's still being investigated. But local residents are taking to social media and they are not happy. According to their accounts, a little girl was assaulted and raped at knife point by 3 boys aged 13, 10, and 8, Syrian refugees. The 13-year-old boy reportedly recorded the assault on his cell phone. The parents of these boys housed at an apartment complex in Twin Falls. Nearly 1,000 refugees have reportedly been housed in Twin Falls and in Boise over the past year. Over the weekend, Attorney General Loretta Lynch told NBC's Chuck Todd that the FBI would release transcripts of the 911 call made by Orlando shooter Omar Mateen today, Monday. Make that a partial transcript. And Todd asked, well, what's being left out? If it's a partial transcript, it's being edited, correct? And she said it was being edited to remove references by Mateen of his allegiance to the Islamic State. She said they were doing it to avoid furthering his propaganda. Now, I don't doubt that there are people here in the country who appreciate what he did, but that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Don't you think that the 49 people who died at the Pulse nightclub might have wanted to know that there were people in their area who respond to this type of Islamic State propaganda? How is withholding this kind of information, especially since it's already been broadcast around the country, how is withholding this kind of information from the official transcript helping anybody? Especially in light of this news, the co-owner of a gun store in Florida told reporters over the weekend that Mateen came into his shop 5 weeks ago and wanted to buy level 3 body armor. That's the kind of body armor that stops slugs, 44 Magnum slugs, hollow points, or 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO rifle cartridges. Well, this store doesn't sell that type of body armor, and when Mateen was informed, he picked up his cell phone, made a call, spoke to someone in Arabic, and then came back to the counter and wanted to buy bulk ammunition. Well, the gentleman told reporters his employees did not sell any ammunition to Mateen, and as soon as he left the store, they contacted the FBI directly to let them know what had just happened. But apparently the FBI was not, in the words of the shop owner, not as attentive as we would have hoped. In other news, the U.S. Senate votes to require women to register for the U.S. or for the military draft. This is part of a military policy bill passed by the Senate last week. U.S. hasn't used the draft since 1973 during the Vietnam War. As you might suspect, some conservative groups are not very happy about this. An attempt to bring together the leaders of all the world's Orthodox churches for the first time ever, or first time in more than 1,000 years, has stalled out. The Russian Church and 3 others backed out at the last minute. The disputes ranged from efforts to reconcile with the Vatican to the seating arrangements for the conference. The Holy and Great Council opened yesterday on the island of Crete. The experts say at the heart of the matter is a power struggle between the Russian Church, which is rich and has 100 million followers, and the older but smaller ecumenical patriarchate, which is based in mostly Muslim Turkey. Apparently, the Russians didn't like the original seating plan that had the ecumenical patriarch presiding over the council session. Made it seem like the ecumenical patriarch was the head of the deal. Then the Bulgarians dropped out, said there wasn't anything particularly important on the agenda. And then the Antioch Patriarchate, which is headquartered in Damascus, refused to attend unless an ongoing dispute with the Jerusalem Patriarchate was resolved in advance. So, there we are. It would have been the first gathering of all the leaders of the Orthodox churches since the year 787. And you might have seen the full moon over the weekend, but maybe didn't recognize its significance. For the first time in nearly 50 years, the full moon fell on the summer solstice. The June full moon is called the strawberry moon. That's what the Algonquin Indians called it, because that's when strawberries are ripe enough to pick. The strawberry moon won't fall on the summer solstice again until 2062, and the last time it happened was 1967, about a week and a half after the Six-Day War between Israel and its neighbors Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. A man in India died while watching the new horror film The Conjuring 2 last week, but that's not the creepy part of the story. The 65-year-old man complained of chest pains during the climactic scene and then collapsed shortly thereafter. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was declared dead. Medics ordered an autopsy at a medical college hospital nearby, but the body and the man who was transporting it have disappeared. And finally, Noah's Ark almost sank last Friday in Norway. This is a half-size replica being towed out to sea, headed for Brazil for the Paralympic Games in September. But the tugboat pulling the Ark replica lost control, sending it careening into a Coast Guard vessel, and the wooden slat exterior of the Ark replica was severely damaged. Now, since the wood is attached to a steel frame that's welded to a barge, it really didn't affect the buoyancy of the Ark, but its availability now for the Paralympic Games is in question. A couple of in-house notes. The book, The Final Roman Emperor, the Islamic Antichrist, and the Vatican's Last Crusade. We've been telling you for weeks about this special offer with lots of giveaway books for people who ordered early. We have finally run out of books, and so that offer has ended. But you can still get the new book by Tom Horn and Chris Putnam, along with a DVD of the 5 interviews that we broadcast in connection with the book. 3 with Tom and Chris, 2 with Steve Quayle about his forthcoming documentary film, True Legends, The Unholy Sea. That DVD and a data DVD, including ebooks and other research information that Tom and Chris drew on for the book. So those 2 bonus DVDs plus the book, $19.95 plus shipping and handling, and still available through the SkyWatch TV store, online at skywatchtvstore.com. Also, we've been running a special offer as an introduction to the new SkyWatch TV magazine coming in July. This is the final week to take advantage of that. It's basically 5 years of the magazine for the price of 3, plus the brand new book from Defender Publishing, I Predict What 12 Global Experts Believe You Will See by 2025. And that includes best-selling authors who contributed to the book, like Paul McGuire, Troy Anderson, Mark Biltz, Tom Horn, Carl Gallups, Joel Richardson. All of that Available, but only until Friday, through Friday, June 24th, to take advantage of the special deal. And you'll see more about that offer at the end of this program. And you still have time to submit your story for the No Fences Writing Contest. This is related to the book No Fences, the biography of Nita Horn, the woman whose vision has culminated now in Whispering Ponies Ranch. If you are interested in sharing your story with the world and possibly being published by Defender Publishing in time for Christmas, you can still get your entries in through June 30th. A complete listing of the rules and where to submit your entries posted online at skywatchtv.com/nofences. This week on Skywatch TV, we talk about the upcoming Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference. Gary Stearman and Bob Ulrich from Prophecy Watchers join us. You get an opportunity to get a little sneak preview of what some of the presenters are bringing to the Prophecy Conference. And if you can't make it to the conference, they also talk about the live streaming options available to you. You can see Skywatch TV tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Time on the Victory Television Network in Arkansas and around Memphis. Tomorrow, 4 different locations, including Coast to Coast on the Christian Television Network, Coast to Coast Wednesday afternoon on the Cornerstone Network, and a complete listing of when and where you can see Skywatch TV posted at skywatchtv.com. Look in the top menu bar where it says Channels. And please remember the exclusive online content. Another web-exclusive interview this week with Opal Singleton. Opal sits down with Sharon Gilbert, my best friend, for an episode of Skywatch Women One-on-One. That is posted to skywatchtv.com, also to the Skywatch TV channels on YouTube, Roku, and now Vimeo. Web-exclusive content from Skywatch TV also includes programs like Into the Multiverse with Josh Peck. You see that posted every Thursday. Sci Friday with Sharon and myself. And, of course, these daily news updates. Again, all posted exclusively at skywatchtv.com and the Skywatch TV channels on Roku, YouTube, and Vimeo. And if you need a more portable version, something that you can listen to without having to watch a screen, please check out the Skywatch TV podcast. Audio versions of these daily news updates, our weekly programs, and the web-exclusive content, Into the Multiverse, Sci Friday, Skywatch Women, all available through the Skywatch TV podcast, and you'll find that at skywatchtv.com. Look in the top menu bar where it says Podcast. We depend on your support, and during the month of June, our gift to you, in honor of Father's Day, a couple of books for Dad, The Fisherman's Guide to Life, and The Man in the Mirror, Solving the Problems Men Face. We will send you those books for your donation of any amount during the month of June, in the U.S. and Canada only, and while supplies last. For more information and to donate, log on to skywatchtv.com/donate. And you can help us when you're online by just clicking the mouse. When you see Skywatch TV on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Blog Talk Radio, wherever you happen to find us, YouTube, click like, click share, click subscribe. And if you've got comments or questions for us, send those to me at dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching while we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is Skywatch TV. Save nearly half off the cover price when you subscribe now to the brand new Skywatch TV magazine. For a limited time from April 24th through June 24th, 60 days only, a 5-year subscription to Skywatch TV magazine is just $99. That's more than $75 off the cover price, which is like getting 2 years for free. Exclusive content, articles on prophecy, discovery, and the supernatural from Tom Horn, Chris Putnam, Josh Peck, science updates from Sharon K. Gilbert, geopolitics from yours truly, and guest writers like Pulitzer Prize-nominated journalist Troy Anderson, renowned Bible scholar Dr. Michael Heiser, Pentagon advisor Lieutenant Colonel Bob McGinnis, and more. But there is more. As an early subscriber, you'll be the first to get this new book from Defender Publishing. I predict what 12 global experts believe you'll see by 2025. This is a $20 value and includes best-selling authors like Joel Richardson, Mark Biltz, Carl Gallups, Tom Horn, Paul McGuire, and more. Find out what they think about the coming war between ISIS and the Vatican, the future of the Temple Mount and the Ark of the Covenant, a worldwide manifestation of angels, and the coming age of human hybrids. And we'll also add this DVD, The Best of Skywatch TV 2015, a $25 value, including our most compelling interviews from last year, including Chuck Missler, Steve Quayle, the discussion of the Georgia Guidestones with Chris Pinto, and more. All of this together worth more than $200, yours now for just $99, but only through June 24th. Subscribe now. SkyWatch TV Magazine. Just call the number on your screen or log on to skywatchtvstore.com.